All right, so I am here to introduce you to my uh, proposal pitch for a story, and it is titled Mr. Pickle in the Beer Can with a Message from the Grave, written by Cheree, which is me. Um, and so, yeah, all right. So, this is the premise um, of the story. He's an extremely hungover pickle man in his 30s, almost mid 30s, um, and he's struggling to open the last can of beer in his fridge, and the tab breaks off. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, but when the tab breaks off and it doesn't open the can, whether it's a beer or like a soda, it's just it's not cool. Like, it's like, what do you do? So anyway, he goes through ridiculous efforts to try to open this can of beer, and little does he know that it's actually possessed by the ghost of his little brother, who is kind of playing a prank on him um, from the spirit realm or the grave. His brother was like younger than him and died in a tragic car accident. So um, he thought it'd be funny just to like piss his older brother off. And I don't know why. I don't know why a ghost would do that, but anyway, that's kind of the general idea there. All right, so introducing Mr. Pickle. Yes, this is Mr. Pickle, and got all these kind of weird facts about him next to him. He's yeah, mid 30s, like kind of chubby, but not really overweight. It's probably just drinks too much, and um, yeah, his general attitude towards life is it kind of uh, sucks, but he does it anyway and doesn't really complain too much other than muttering under his breath. And he's pretty insecure about himself, even though he walks around in his underpants and doesn't seem to care. He actually kind of cares. And yeah, he's not a super social person. He just likes watching TV, eating peanut butter, drinking, sitting on the couch, and avoids crowds, social media, noise, and yeah, he's a pretty simple dude. He kind of had a hard go in life, and now he's just riding the waves. So the primary story beats of this is the ghost of his younger brother kind of sits on an urn, like uh, in his brother's living room, and uh, gets bored and decides to play a prank. So he kind of like, you know, finds his way out of the urn, all ghostly styles. And he kind of notices his brother's passed out, so he makes his way to the kitchen, and uh, he finds the last can of beer in the fridge. He doesn't have to open the fridge door, obviously, because he's a ghost. And there's a peanut butter jar that's also possessed by another ghost that uh, he it's just another ghost. Like, I don't have that guy in this story, but he doesn't approve of the ghost brother doing this, um, and so he kind of frowns at him. Uh, Next page of the story beats. Mr. Pickle wakes up from his hangover and kind of really slowly and sleepily makes his way to the fridge, and only to discover that there's only one beer left, which is pretty lame in his world. And that's okay. That's like enough beer to get him to the liquor store. He has one beer, and then he can run to the corner store like down the road and get another 6-pack. And so anyway, he attempts to open the can and he fails. The tab comes off, and yeah, he kind of loses his shit for lack of a better term. And so he kind of struggles in ridiculous ways. Yeah, kind of hilarious type of scene, if you can imagine. So he tries to pry it open with a fork and other utensils and just anything he can find. The doorknob in his room, it's just like, holy crap, this can won't open. And all his efforts just really aren't working until somehow it just like, he cracks the side of the can and it just explodes and like seeps into his dirty carpet because he's kind of a slob and he never vacuums or cleans his house. And so his brother kind of retreats from the can, like snickering and laughing, goes back to his little urn on the coffee table or whatever. And yeah. And so kind of coming to the end of this little story, Mr. Pickle's just like on the ground, like absolutely defeated. And an inspiration of mine that comes to mind is like, has anyone seen that Simpsons episode where Homer gets his hair and he has that magic liquid that like makes him grow hair and he dumps it all over the floor or whatever and he's like rubbing his hair into the floor? Well, that's like what I want the scene to be like, is Mr. Pickle just sobbing and like rubbing his face on the floor in this like lost beer that he was really hoping to drink, kind of overreacting a little bit. and and then he notices that a post-it that he had kept from his brother from like a few years ago before he died was like, stop being a turd. And this has like a sentimental kind of value for him. So he kind of just like picks up the post-it note and like smirks and just like thinks to himself like, fucking turd brother being dead and whatever, and puts it back on the table near his brother's ashes, and then he's just like, well, fucking whatever, and just sits on the couch, gives up, doesn't get his beer, but just like turns on the TV and is like, I guess whatever, all is good. What'll be, that kind of nonsense. And this is just kind of a background layout design that I had in mind. My inspirations are kind of from like Beavis and Butthead, The Simpsons, just King of the Hill, just pretty simple, basic style, kind of messy. And yeah, I don't know, I did it in black and white, but my color schemes are probably closer to like, pickle color, green, purple. I don't know. So anyway, this concludes my project pitch for Mr. Pickle, The Beer Can with a Message from the Grave, written by me, Cheree. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening, and for listening to my pre-recorded rabble. You're all wonderful human beings, and thank you so much. Oh, yeah, P.S. One more thing I just wanted to add is I started doing all this stuff in Harmony, and so I'm starting to work out the thumbnails, like the background layout, and how I want things to kind of go. So I kind of attached a few different things, thumbnails. I didn't get too far. I had to go in lockdown, so I lost access to my computer for a week, but this is kind of a story that I want to continue to work on, and so maybe you guys will see it next term or in the future. Aha. All right, thank you. Goodbye. Cheree is out.